Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday the 13th of February. So looking at the euro dollar, I've come right out to the monthly bars here just to see what lies beneath basically, and well, at 105.60 we've got sort of support from that sort of area down that 105, of course. Significant and very significant sort of numbers when we get down to there. They were the sort of lows we saw in 2017. I'm trying to think that the last time we saw anything lower than that was, of course, when the euro initially started. So, and it's really that was it. So we're looking for sort of absolute lows here, maybe coming up or near absolute lows. So that's on a monthly picture. From a daily picture, well, solid down day yesterday. We're seeing a bit of a rally at the moment, and well, is there any divergence across these lows? Yeah, maybe a bit of divergence on this 4-hourly, just about. It's double bottomed again this morning. We've seen this double bottom come in. Maybe we'll see a bit of a correction from here, but it didn't work yesterday. It started looking like it was going to correct to a decent size, push through it 60-minute 50, but just didn't have the legs and was sold for the rest of the day there. So we'll see how it does today. Maybe it's time for a bit of a retrace, but tread carefully, traders. Okay, looking at the pound. Now the pound was more solid yesterday. Did end up slightly on the upside. Come to find resistance into that trend line, that longer term trend line that's sitting across the lows there. Just ran back into that and the weekly pivot and the 50 moving average, and it all just was too much at that stage. This morning we're running back up to that sort of territory and could be pushing further. It's run through its daily pivot here, and as I say, it's looking like it may want to run up further and push into that sort of zone. That's the pound. Would be watching for retracements on this at this stage. So moving on to the dollar yen. Well, we seem to have risk back off again here at this stage with a big jump in the number of the coronavirus numbers, both people that have come into contact and caught the virus, and those that have obviously passed away. So those numbers have significantly frightened the markets here again. We've seen a significant move down on the yen here, and seen it pushing down at the moment. Yesterday it went quite the opposite. When I was looking at it in the morning there, it absolutely shot up at one stage, risk back onto the markets, but risk off at the moment. So there we are, and markets pushing through here and downwards. Okay, Aussie dollar. Just look at the Aussie dollar in the short term here. Got pushed up pretty well yesterday. Not quite a pivot swing in there, but certainly pushing up in the right sort of direction back towards that pivot there, the monthly pivot, but slowed up, got stuck around its S1 sort of area, sorry, R1 area sort of thing. But at the moment, it still looks like it could just pull back yesterday, but could push back up for those highs. It's the Aussie dollar. And then let's have a look at the Canadian dollar. Okay, so Canadian dollar, bearish pivot swing there. Sell off yesterday, bit of a rally at the moment because we're seeing this sort of risk back off situation. But we could see a bigger correction on this Canadian dollar. As I said yesterday and the day before that, we're back into these highs here. Previously, it's just ended up as quite a ceiling, and we're seeing a reaction coming through off of that anyway. So maybe more downside, maybe back down towards that daily 21. If it sells off this morning, it's just run into its daily pivot here, shooting star on the hourlies, and maybe it could roll back downwards there. And finally, New Zealand dollar. New Zealand dollar, well, similar picture to the Aussie dollar there, and oh, that's because that's not the New Zealand dollar. Yeah. There we go. I was going to say Canadian dollar, not Aussie dollar. Anyway, sorry. So New Zealand dollar stalled a little bit, came back yesterday. Maybe an opportunity around these levels. It might be worth just waiting this morning, but maybe given an opportunity to see if we get some more upside out of this move with a smaller position on a whole situation. It looks quite solid off the retracement back to its 4-hourly, the weekly pivot there, and there's further potential by the looks of things actually from where we're sitting here, potentially for further upside. So bigger correction from a fundamental result really. Maybe New Zealand dollar could benefit some more. Okay, that's pretty much it for me. News-wise today, we've already had the Reserve Bank of Australia Governor Lowe speaking, and the Canadian Bank of Canada, Paulez speaks, but that was at a conference. They were a joint conference they were having. We've got the EU economic forecast at 10 o'clock today, so something to be watching for the euro if you're trading that this morning. May get a bit rocky. It's been a bit delayed, this report. It's anyway, should be out today, and later on we got the inflation data for the US at 1:30, and that could be a bit of a mover. Okay, that's it for me. Have a great one. Bye for now.